Good afternoon, Chris. I'm
Good
here
afternoon,
with
Soren.
Chris Holder. Normally it's the other way around, you talking to me, but today I wanted to have a chat to you about the Audiovisual Industry Awards that Integrate has hosted alongside Alcamedia for a number of years now. I think the inception of them were back in 2010.
I checked
Yes.
today. Yeah. I've got a folder on my drive. 2010. We even had showing people go to industry with like what we were hoping for and proposing, what we thought the DNA of the awards would be, and asking for people's opinion. This is back 15 years ago.
Yeah, wow. How time flies. Well, certainly, in the time I've been involved, it's had a number of sort of ways of being presented, but particularly the last couple of years, I think it really has got the attention that it truly deserves. It's had that dedicated networking and a dedicated ceremony and a dedicated follow-up from the recipients. And it's been really well received. I know that we've got a lot of positive feedback. So, I'm looking forward to working with you, Chris, and Alcamedia around the future of the awards and where that might take us. So,
well, the awards has always been about Integrate. We got the first set of awards ready for the second outing of Integrate back when it was down at Royal Halls of Industry in Hordern Pavilion. Seasoned veterans will remember those days. And so, the awards are really nothing without Integrate. They're joined to the hip, and I'm very grateful to Integrate and you, Soren, for getting behind the awards because, for me, it's inseparable. And it definitely, I think, although through one reason or another, like you said, the awards have gone through a couple of formats, but it feels to me its sweet spot is where we've got it now, where the industry can get together, have a drink, have a mingle, have a chat, get into a proper venue that's properly set up for an event like this, get people sitting down, focused on the awards and focused on the winners and the finalists, and giving, I guess, due spotlight to the actual reason for these awards, which are the people and the businesses who are doing the best work.
Yeah, well, on that, I totally agree with that. And on that, obviously, the entries, it's many times there's a lot of preparation that goes into preparing these entries to demonstrate exactly what they've delivered. And I think from feedback, etc., while they're doing these projects, it could even be a consideration as the project starts. How do we measure what we've done, and how do we showcase the complexity or the intricacies or the design of the particular project?
A few things to say on that, Soren. I think first is to acknowledge that submitting an entry is not insignificant. It's requires time and attention. So we acknowledge that as those who are convening the awards. But also, I guess, in that, and also to follow on from that, it's clear that if your business has a marketing department, then submitting the awards is a whole lot easier than if you don't have a marketing department. So acknowledge that as well. But I think we want the best projects to be contending for the awards. So the success and the integrity of the awards is all wrapped up in how good the contenders are. And obviously, we're not going to get all of the top projects in the awards for one reason or another. There are some fit outs that, of course, never going to be made public, and we understand that for one reason or another. We're all aware of those. But equally, if you are working on a project and you know in your bones that it's something special, I would just be urging you to get it on the map early, raise it early, talk to your client and just say, hey, look, we'd love to submit these to our AV industry awards. You might get a at the start, but then, drip, 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 you can, it's amazing how you can talk people around. So there's that. If you are struggling to have the resources and the manpower to get these awards over the line, I think also use your clout as a integrator or a consultant to maybe hit up the vendors as well, because the vendors have a lot of vested interest in making sure these awards go through and that they can bask in the reflected glory of their gear being used in these top projects. So if, just for example, if your project uses a lot of Biamp or Crestron or AMX or whatever, I would suggest that you do go to the distributor or the vendor and go, hey, we just need some help. And can you assist us with putting these this submission together? No one's saying it's rocket science, but just takes time, and you've got to find some referees and hit up the client and go, hey, is it okay? Can we do this? Can I give the judges your number so that we can get a positive reference? So, I understand it's straightforward, but it's not often easy.
Yeah. Well, certainly the brands that you mentioned there, they all have marketing departments. So
that's it.
That is one thing that can help. Touching on that, the criteria that are involved, are you able to give us a little bit more insight in what that might look like and what sort of different scales or projects have been submitted over the years? Because there may be people out there that go, well, what is the criterion and what's sort of the entry level and what's the top level?
Sure.
How do I get involved?
I think off the bat, I'd say if you've got a completed project that you think is worthy, get it ready to submit, because I wouldn't go, oh, well, which category does this go into? Or, is it suitable? Or if you think that you've completed something that's got some innovation, you've solved a problem or two, then you've had to workshop something and come up with an innovative solution, then that's what the RVs are all about. And for me personally, the most satisfying results that I've seen, not that I have anything to do with the judging, but the smaller projects where a seemingly intractable problem has been solved with some nifty innovation. And without sort of patting ourselves on the back too much, but that's what Australian AV is known for, that when there's a problem, maybe the guys in the US or Europe will just throw more money at it or more gear at it. Australians are renowned for thinking outside the box and taking what we have and reprogramming it or redeploying it in ways that work. So I love those entries. We've had plenty in the past and they've been rewarded. And yes, there's always space for, the big 200 room completed project that, displays just next level excellence. And that's not in any way to be diminished. We love those entries as well, but I guess wanted to just reinforce the fact that it doesn't matter how small the project is, our judges will hear you out, look into it, and if it's innovative, if it's solving a problem in an innovative way, they'll love it.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Certainly sitting in the room the last couple of years and you see the, just the joy of the recipients who win and they take it serious. And I believe that there's also added value in that recognition, not just at the awards themselves, but actually you do some interviews afterwards with them and highlight them through social channels, etc.
Yeah, that's right. We do. I think that was always part of the transaction or the reward, is that through our channels, being publishers of AV technology, we always wanted to do our very best to showcase those winning projects, and often the finalists as well. We want to follow up if we haven't already done a story, get the full story, publish it, and make sure that it's firmly tagged as being an ARVIA winner, and then that gets amplified through our channels and LinkedIn and whatnot. On the night, actually, this year, 2025 awards, we trialed something new where we used our photo board to do some ambush interviews of winners who just come off the stage, and they won't be ambushed next year because people will know all about it, but they came off stage and just a quick 30-second interview of like classic sort of recognition and thanks to everybody, thanks to my dog and the budgerigar, etc. And so the good thing about that is that our guys at the office here will instantly top and tail that and pop that onto LinkedIn so that it's there in the morning. So you're waking up to instant recognition, instantly creating a buzz around Integrate that, your business has won an ARVIA. So that's definitely big on our radar, Soren. We want to amplify these winners to the max.
Fantastic. All right. Well, I know that we're a way out now. I mean, we've still, what are we, 9 months out from the next Integrate, September next year. Well, more than that, 10 months out. So, but there is obviously a process that the ARVIAs go through in their submission, etc. What does that timeline look like for anyone who may be considering or may indeed be working on a project already and they're thinking, well, I should really consider this for next year?
Yeah, absolutely. Like one of the key criteria is that the project is fundamentally complete in the previous calendar year. So every winner of next year's ARVIAs will be a project that they're completing this year. And sometimes that can mean the project feels a little old. But I think, by the time you need to be considering submitting a project, i.e. early next year, it's about those projects that are just in your rearview mirror. So we will be making some noise early next year. I'll get back from ISE and then we'll start sort of thinking about publicizing and calling for entries. And then you'll have a couple of months to submit your entry. Might be a good time to recognize Derek Powell, who's been the chair of the judging panel for the last 2 years, taking over from the indomitable, in the end, not so indomitable Andy Sidor, and may he rest in peace. And Derek's been took up the baton and has done tremendously well over the last 2 years, maintaining the integrity and the rigor of the awards. So we'll be announcing a new chair as well in the next few months. So that's kind of the timeline. We'll keep bugging the industry. May even get a phone call from our future chair just to say, hey, have you considered? What are you doing about, etc.
Very good. Well, again, thank you very much to Alka Media and the partnership we have with you around the ARVIAs. Good to talk to you, Chris, and look forward to hosting another successful awards in 2026.
Me too, Soren. Thanks for the support.
Thank you.